Well, I must say, I'm getting far more answers than I really expected to, the doctor chimed up. All these years I dug around looking for any kind of dirt on you, all to get bupkis. It was truly infuriating, it was. But now, in its what seems like the most unexpected of places and times, I seem to be getting so many answers. It's all becoming clear now. Your pattern, the event known as the Broken Crown, it sealed the deep. There's no question about it now. It makes so many things make sense. What the hell are you talking about? I said, looking angrily back at the doctor. Oh, it's nothing you need concern yourself with. You most likely wouldn't believe me if I told you anyways. But just for the sake of argument, and so you don't bring it up later, I'll skip over the wishy-washy nonsense. There is a whole speech about this chaos and order and whatnot that I could give you that would make your head spin round like a top. But let's skip that and just tell you that there are patterns. People believe their lives to be random chaos because they need to. In truth, most things are both chaos and order. Whether people realize it or not, there are particular individuals, and these individuals fall into set patterns. Everyone is in essence a pattern, but there are some that are quite particular. The event that you just described, your poor friend's death, your abandonment of those poor children, the doctor said, waving his finger at me. I thought you were better. But it is one of the listed events within your pattern. One of the things that seems too specific to be random chance, to ever repeat itself again. But I assure you it does. The event is known as the Broken Crown. Specifically within your pattern, it dictates an event in which a great amount of power or leadership is attempted to be placed on your head, but the bearer finds the weight of the crown too heavy, and so shunning this responsibility out of fear or lack of interest, whatever be the reason, they discard of the crown, shattering it altogether. There are very few patterns that I have bothered to commit to memory, but there are a very specific set of 7 that I have memorized quite thoroughly. But once again, it's nothing that you'd be interested in. You're more of a gadgets guy. Why is it that I never understand anything you say? How is it that you are a master programmer? It still makes my head hurt, I said, turning away from him and shaking my head for a moment. While this tale is tear-jerking, for sure, and most certainly, my father said, sitting behind his desk, still with that disgruntled expression on his face, his hands clasped together, resting in front of his face, covering his mouth as he spoke. The only thing that equates to me is the part where you said that Alexander was responsible for your abduction. Yeah, sorry, I replied. It's just sort of my life. It all sort of runs together for me. And now, knowing all of the details, it was hard not to reflect back on all of the things that I know now that I wish I had known then. So many things would have changed if I had known that I could just waltz up to the gate at any point I wanted, ask for a scan, and be welcomed back in with open arms. then my friend wouldn't have had to die. Me and Emily and Barry could have already been inside of Newgate City. All of the wasted time and effort that I spent trying to get in. Everything that I lost on the way. All because of that bastard. I'm gonna skin him alive. I swear it. Oh yes, I'm sure that you expect me to just feel oh so bad for your life story. Maybe you expect me to take pity on you because you know the end results of the test. Oh, and we're back to that again, I replied to my father, still not believing that I was who I claimed to be. I suppose it can't be helped. While I've been dealing with my own suffering, you've been dealing with yours, haven't you, old man? You weren't always a ball of joy. Seriousness was always more your forte. But I did know that you loved me. That I remember clearly. There's no way you took it softly when I suddenly disappeared. And I imagine that people faking being me in order to try to weasel their way into the family fortune didn't help. I imagine it's like rubbing salt in old wounds, keeping them from healing. I had the luxury of not remembering what I lost, at least up until recently. But you had to live with it the entire time, didn't you? I could at least imagine that you were just shit parents, that you abandoned me, that I wasn't really wanted. I know it would seem like that wouldn't be something that an orphan might want, but in reference to the pain you experience when you believe that there's someone who loves you out there waiting for you, hoping for you to come back, and that you just don't have the means or the knowledge to get to them. The pain of feeling like you just don't belong is a much lesser burden to bear. At least for me it felt that way. I can't even imagine what Mom must have went through. Shut up, my father said from beyond the table, beginning to grit his teeth and lower his hands flat to the desk. Stop talking like you're him. Like this is all just going to come back and prove what you say. I've been through it oh so many times. The more you pretend to be him, the more it just infuriates me. That is not something that you want. Oh, yes, I've been running from raving lunatics my entire life, getting shot at on a daily basis, and nearly killed on a regular. But I'm most definitely afraid that my father's going to throw a temper tantrum, I said, laughingly rubbing my forehead and rolling my eyes a bit. Look, I have no doubt that if you get upset, you'll call in some security guards to kill us. Maybe get one of the XPCs in here. But it's far from something that I'm afraid of. There are much crueler fates out there in the Yellow District, as you've recently heard. And I'm not concerned about the little test, because I already know what the results are going to say. Because I am your son, whether you want to accept it or not. I didn't alter myself in any way in order to pretend to be someone else. This is just me, or who I became, I guess. There are a few scraps left of what I was before I lost my memory. I still love building gadgets. I didn't know why, but now it's becoming clear. With my old memories restored, I still care about the people around me. That much is still true about me. But other than that, I have changed a great deal. All of that softness for the people who wrong me, yeah, that's pretty much gone. If someone is, well, dangerous enough to be a danger to the people that I care about, I don't second guess or question it. if it comes down to feeling bad about it, or being tormented with the death of someone I love, I'll choose feel bad about it and kill their ass. I've lived a hard life, and I assure you, once your little test results come back, I'm going to make sure that Alexander Fleck gets a first-hand view of the monster that he made, because it's come back, and it wants blood. The blood of a treacherous slime ball. And only the blood of a treacherous slime ball will do.